Hi, it's Amber, musician and teacher, with today's helpful hint on silence. Silence is a very important part of music. It can be used in all different kinds of ways. Let's say if we're playing piano, we play the right hand, but we want the left hand to be quiet, or vice versa, the left hand is playing and the right hand is quiet. Or in an orchestra, all the different instruments aren't playing all at the same time sometimes, and so we have the violins playing or the horns or whatever. So in music, it's notated as a rest. So for every note value, there's a rest value. So in 4/4 time, the quarter note would have a quarter rest and would be 1 beat of rest. A half note would have a half rest, which would be 2 beats of rest, and a whole rest would have a whole note, and the whole rest would be 4 beats of rest. However, if we have 3/4 time, we also use the whole rest to indicate the whole measure as a rest. Even though it's 3 or 4, we use the whole rest. There is also dotted rest. So we also have a dotted quarter note rest and a dotted whole note rest. So here's some examples anyway. So the quarter rest, I describe it as a squiggle. Okay, so here we have the half rest. We're in 4/4 time. So the left hand is playing, and then the left hand rests 1 beat, and then the right hand comes in. So this is what it's notated like. Then this is a whole measure of rest for the left hand bass clef. So the quarter rest I describe as a squiggle. The half rest looks like a hat that sits on the 3rd line in the staff. And the whole rest hangs upside down from the 4th line on the staff. It's too heavy, so it hangs down. Okay, so we can also have a rest with a fermata, which means, the fermata means to hold as long as you want. Well, the fermata over the rest means you can be silent for as long as you want. It's also used for dramatic contrast. So I have this piece here, simplified piece from Malaguena, and it's playing here. And then we have 2 rests, and then we come in with this accent. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest, 1, rest, rest. Also in the Eine kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart, this is another simplified version, but we have also the 8th rest, which corresponds to the 8th note, and in 4/4 time, that equals a half a beat. So it's kind of hard to see, but it's notated like this. So here's the 8th rest, and that's the 8th note. And this is for dramatic effect, also for like a syncopation. So it goes. So you can hear 1, 2, and 3, 4, and, okay. So dramatic effect, syncopation, one hand playing, the other hand resting. Here is an example of a dotted quarter rest. This happens to be in 6/8 time, right here, 6/8 time, which means, hopefully you know your time signatures. It means there's 6 beats in a measure, and the 8th note gets 1 beat. So we have here 2/8 notes as an incomplete measure. So it's 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we use the dotted quarter rest to indicate 3 beats of rest, which would be 3/8 notes. And there can also be a dotted whole rest, and you would use that in 6/4 time to equal a double whole rest. So you would rest for the whole measure of 6 beats. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I kind of rushed through the whole thing, but it's a little sample of the different kinds of rests and how silence is very important in music. Happy learning!